What's going on, people? We're back in the car, and today we're talking about, as you can see on the title of the video, common misconceptions, stigmatisms, stereotypes. Basically, things that people think just because you consume cannabis, this is who you are. It doesn't make any sense, and I'm not here to defend anyone, and especially not myself. I'm not here to say, oh, I'm not that because of this. I don't want to sit and tell you all things that I've done to prove to you that I'm not this. I know who I am and what I am, as you do as well. However, there's a lot of people outside of this community that don't understand it, and they think that that means just because you consume this plant, they'll put you in a box. Do you know what I mean? They're trying to tell you you're like this. And the first thing straight off the bat is lazy and unmotivated. Like, that's a massive one that people seem to think anyone who consumes cannabis is lazy and unmotivated. It's not true. I know for myself it's not true, and that doesn't mean there's not people who consume cannabis who are lazy and unmotivated. There definitely is, and it will make them worse most likely. I've like to think of cannabis as it's something that it will enhance and bring out your, like, who you are, essentially, if that makes sense. It's like an amplifier, a magnifier, something like that. And especially if you're lazy and unmotivated, yes, it's going to make you that way. But if you're not, and you're a motivated, busy person, and, you know, I know loads of people, I've known people who are lazy, but they don't smoke weed. And then people who do smoke weed, but they're getting up at 5 a.m. every day, going to the gym, setting up their day, sorting out their kids, their family, and then going handling business as well. You know what I mean? They're busy people, and they're like bunning a joint or whatever and consuming cannabis during that journey, and that helps them stay grounded during that process because their head's rushing and racing with all these things going on, and it kind of helps them to slow that down, but not to the point where they're not doing anything because they're an active person. Like, it's not changing who you are, it's used as a tool. I hope that makes sense, but I'm sure that when you see the title of this video, most of you thought of a few things that you thought I was going to speak about, and this is definitely one of them. Like, most people will think about straight away, oh, you smoke weed so you're lazy, or you're unmotivated, you can't be arsed, you just want to sit around all day and do nothing. Like, I couldn't think of anything worse. Like, I do not want to sit around all day and do nothing. It's just not me, it's not how I've ever been, and it's not how I will ever be. So a plant is not going to change that. That's just the top and bottom of it. Another one is gateway drug. Like, you know, this whole, oh, well, if you're getting into weed, cannabis, whatever you want to call it, if you're getting involved in it, you're going to end up on harder stuff. How does that even make sense? Make it make sense, because it doesn't to me. Like, I can understand, right, let's be fair, I can understand where that's come from. Like, cannabis is illegal around most of the world, or it has been for a long time. Therefore, to get hold of it, you have to speak to somebody who is willing to break the law to sell it. So naturally, when you get in touch with these people, you're going to get phone numbers, and they're going to get your phone number, and maybe you're going to get a text message with a snowflake emoji or a little horse, or, you know how it is. If you're from the UK, you know how it is. I don't have to go too deep on that one. But you know that just because you're getting those texts doesn't mean you're going to get into it. Like, to me, if anything, spending time around people who were exploring these other drugs, I'm seeing them and thinking, nah, I'm all right, I'd rather stick to this plant, you know, because it's just natural, and I know how it makes me feel. Like, it doesn't send me out of this world. It just kind of enhances how I'm feeling in that moment, as opposed to, like, you know, complete wipeout, forget what you've done. And yeah, I don't even have to go into it. Like, you can buy alcohol in the shops, you can go and drink enough of that right now and you die, or at least if not, you would completely forget everything that's happened, and you could do some dangerous things, you could hurt yourself and not feel it, and all. There's so much negative sides to stuff like that, and that's in the shops. So how on earth is smoking, vaping, whatever, consuming cannabis going to mean that that's a gateway drug, and therefore you're going to end up on harder stuff? Like, for me, that's not the case, and I can say I could have easily. I've been offered it. I mean, I live in the UK. I'm sure most people watching this have been offered all sorts of stuff, but you're not going to take it, again, unless that's you. Like, and that is not me. So why on earth people put it in this box and say, oh, you're going to end up like this because of that? It just doesn't even make any sense, man. What's another one? I'd say gateway drugs really does my head in, to be honest with you, that one, because it just doesn't make sense. Lazy and unmotivated. Another one is people tend to think that everyone who consumes cannabis is the same type of person. It's just not true. Like, I've met people from all spectrums of life, all walks of life, shall we say. You know, you can meet someone who's an artist and they like to use cannabis to help boost their creativity. You could meet somebody who's a high-end professional and they use it to try and calm their brain because their thoughts are like, they come out of work and all they can think about is work and stress, and they help to use it to calm their anxiety down. I've met people, like, I don't even have to go too deep on it. I feel like you're picking up what I'm putting down, if that makes sense. Like, you know what I mean. That all you lot watching these videos right now, you're not all the same. Do you know what I mean? Okay, we have similarities, and that's something we can connect through, and that's beautiful, man. That's amazing. But at the same time, we're individuals too. Like, we all have our own things that we enjoy, our own personality, our own, like, differentials in life. I don't know if that's the right word. I thought too much about that one. But yeah, we all have our own differences. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what I was looking for, differences. Differentials. We've got our own gearboxes. No, but basically, what I'm trying to say is, no two cannabis users are the same. Like, I don't think, because we're all different in our own way. And so to try and, again, put us in this box and say that we're all like this, how can you even say that? That's like saying two people who drink a bottle of wine every night are exactly the same. They're not. They're just not. You could have one who, you know, I don't know, that's what they do every single night and it's their third bottle. Or you could have somebody else who drinks a bottle of wine between a few of them once a night, and they have a glass or whatever. And in fact, no, it's more like saying two people who consume wine are the same. Forget the amount, how much they drink. It's just like I said there. You could have one person who has one glass a night. I don't know what that action was about. You have one person who has one glass a night, and then you can have another who drinks 3 bottles. They're not the same. They are categorically not the same. Let alone the fact that even if you had two people that drank 3 bottles every night, they're both still not going to be the same. Like, people are unique, people are individuals. So how can you say that one thing makes them the same? It just doesn't make sense again. As you can see, I'm pretty passionate about these ones because it just does my head in that people try and put us in this box like we're all our own people, we've got our own choices. And there's another one, people think that cannabis users are dumb or like stupid or slow or something like that. Like, that's another one I've been hammered with loads of times. I'm not dumb, mate. I am not dumb, bro. I'm telling you now, I'm a clever guy. And okay, there's people out there that are more clever than me, but I'm still clever. I'm still able to do things. I've got critical thinking that, to be honest, I definitely have a decent level that might be, I don't want to talk bad about people, but you know, there's a lot of people out here now, they don't consume cannabis, but they're going around with no common sense, mate. Do you know what I'm saying? Common sense is not that common, which is mad to say in 2025, but it's true. And so then to say, oh, because you consume this plant, you're dumb, or you're stupid, or you're slow, or whatever, it doesn't make any sense either. Like, who you are is who you are, and consuming a plant, a natural plant, is not going to change that. Do you know what I mean? Fundamentally, who you are. Yeah, it's a mad one. People tend to just try and put us in this box, whether it's for that reason or, I mean, what else is the other misconceptions and stigmatisms that people kind of attach to cannabis? I'd say, like, people think that we're all rebels as well, like we're all dodgy or running on the illegal side of things, or I don't know, do you know what I mean? I feel like there's a vibe there that because if you consume cannabis, they think you're interested in criminality as a whole, but in actual fact, it's just part and parcel of being a cannabis user and the black market is that you have to be slightly involved there, but that's just because you want to get your medicine and go, like, that's it. Or maybe it's recreationally, whatever it is, but the fact is, that's not true. Like, not everyone is a rebel. Like, a lot of people, there is high-ranking professionals. I know lads that used to serve up to people who were high-ranking people, and, you know, they would have to be very discreet and careful about how they did things with those people, because at the end of the day, they're not like your average person, but they still bun weed. Do you know what I mean? That doesn't mean they don't. They're just more careful about how they do things because of the illegal side of things. And that's where the medical side is really going to take off, I think, because you're going to see a lot more people from that side jumping over to the medical side and the legal side before you're going to see more of the criminal side, like people who, I don't know, like myself, man. I've grown up in an area and, you know, a lot of my friends were doing what they were doing, and I don't knock any of it, you know, each to their own. But for me, I've never seen cannabis as like that part of me. I was never consuming it to be a bad man. Do you know what I mean? That's my point. I didn't think I was sick because I was consuming it. I was consuming it because the way it made me feel was it calmed me down. It helped me to deal with pressures and issues. It helped me to deal with sleep massively, man. Sleep's a huge one for me. And it really helped me to actually get asleep. Like I've always struggled with that. Anxiety as well, man. All them anxious thoughts in your head, like a little bit of flour goes a long way. And for me, that the illegal aspect was the worst part about it. Like I that's the bit I hated. At first, all right, when you're younger, I might admit it was a bit of a buzz, because you're young and you're thinking, ooh. But then when you get older and you start building a life and having responsibilities and kids and things like that, like, that's not enjoyable. Like, it's not enjoyable to be thinking that you're, you know, brushing on the wrong side of the law sort of thing. And yeah, I just don't understand why a lot of people do think that. Again, they attach it with cannabis users and think, oh, you're rebellious, or you think you're this, or you think you're a bad man, or whatever. It's all mad. But people come up with this stuff and it sticks. It's been, you know, it's been put into our heads for years, and I don't know exactly where all of it's come from. I can see parts of it where it's come from, like I said, you know, with the illegality and the gateway drug thing, but it still doesn't make sense. It still doesn't make sense. Like, you can go into a shop and go and buy yourself enough alcohol for you to die that night. It sounds nasty, I know it sounds bad, but you literally can, and then that's looked on as like, that's okay. Do you know what I mean? Obviously not drinking that much, but that's normal to go in and be able to get that, when the potential is that somebody could go and overuse it like that. Whereas with cannabis, it's not the same. Like, again, as with everything, like, this is another topic I'm going to touch on in another video as well, like use versus abuse, because abuse is something that it doesn't work well for anything. But in the grand scheme of things, that's the one, not in the long scheme of things. In the grand scheme of things, ultimately, what does it matter? You're not about abuse, and I think I'm messing myself up a bit here. But what I'm trying to say is, in the grand scheme of things, it's on you whether you're going to use something or abuse something. It's not on the thing itself. So alcohol in the shops, you could use that or you could abuse that. You know what I mean? It's your choice. You can go and buy a 24 crate and sink it all in one night, or you could buy a bottle of whiskey and sink it all, or you could buy that bottle and it sits in your cupboard, like me, for like a year or two. You know what I mean? It comes out at Christmas, you have a little bit, you have a little drink, you get merry, that's it, done, dusted, that's it. Or you can abuse it where, you know, it's the first thing you do when you wake up and it's the last thing you do when you go to bed. And I think there's a fine line, obviously, especially with medical cannabis. Like I said, we'll speak about this in another video because I think it's a much broader topic. But I want people to be aware, like, I do understand if somebody is in chronic pain daily from the second they wake up, then I can understand why they would consume cannabis at that point, because it would help them with that pain. Whereas if you were dealing with sleep issues, you're not gonna need, like, you are either using it or abusing it, and if you need to use it, then you will use it. Whereas if you don't need to use it, but you just tend to do it every day consistently in times you don't need to, that's abuse. That's putting too much reliance on that thing. But that works with everything: tea, sugar, coffee, crisps, sweets. Energy drinks, that's a big one. Especially these days, mate. I've been on and off them things for years. That's something that I would struggle with way more than with cannabis. Like, I could go through and not use that unless I felt like I needed to, as opposed to an energy drink. I feel like there's times in my life where I definitely have just drank it for the sake of drinking it, because I'm like in that cycle of that's what I do. And it's mad. Like, I think that we need to take a bit more responsibility and not put everything external onto other people or other things, and just say, like, you know, it's up to us who we are and how we treat this plant. And I think everyone should see that from the outside also. Like, it's not just about this plant makes you that, because it doesn't. This plant doesn't make you anything. You know, people might think that people are dumb or whatever, like I said, because they're consuming weed. But in actual fact, like, the level of understanding that some of the people now understand and research and put into this medication as the user of the medication, that takes someone with a little bit of nous to actually sit and understand the endocannabinoid system, how it works, and all these things. Like, yeah, it's just mad. I just think that there's so many. I'm sure there's more, guys. I reckon there's definitely loads more of common misconceptions and stereotypes and stuff like that. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know there's more out there. Let me know in the comments below if you think of any, or maybe I'm sure out of all of yours, you defo can think of a couple that I've not hit there. Let me know, and you know, which ones annoy you the most and why. And maybe you've got like an opinion of something I've just said there, and you think, actually, no, I don't agree with that. Let me know. Like, this is also having an open conversation. As I said to you before, I'm medicated, mate, and you're medicated, mate. We are all medicated together. In fact, I'm not right now, but you know, as always, I've just finished work. I'm filming this video because I want to get it out there and just continue with this content and bringing these conversations to light. If you've got more suggestions of what you want to speak about, any questions or anything like that, let me know. I will do a Q&A at some point where I'm going to go through a load of your guys' questions in a video and just speak on them, because I think it's a good idea. There's so many questions, but if you've got a specific topic or something around today's subject of these misconceptions, drop it in the comments below. I'll be over the moon, to be honest, to read what you think, and just to see the interaction between you guys. I proper appreciate it. As I've said, I say it every video and I'll say it again, you are fucking legends, I swear down. As soon as I dropped that video yesterday, boom, people commenting straight away, and I was sat there with my missus and I said, like, check these comments, and she's like, you get such nice comments. Yo, sorry, my phone died there. But yeah, basically what I was saying was, I was showing my missus and she's just saying, I can't believe how nice the comments that you get are. And I'm like, this community of people that we're building, we only got 1.64k. I say only, that is phenomenal. And I'm saying only because yesterday I had a comment from Patriot. A man said to me, Geezer, you will be on 10k before you know it. Something along those lines. Just keep doing what you're doing, keep putting out the videos. And I thought to myself, what a guy. Like, that, even seeing that number there written is insane. But then to think, like, you guys are actually sat right in the comments saying that. You guys are the ones who are in control of how this grows and how this gets. I'm just gonna move up a little bit. Oh no, it's all right, he's going past. Yeah, so you guys are the ones who are in control of this and how it grows ultimately, do you know what I mean? So to see you writing comments like that, it genuinely makes my day. Like, when I write comments back to you and I'm saying, like, this has made my day, I genuinely fucking mean it. Like, I'll upload this video now, and if I see comments I always try and respond to comments straight away, and when it first drops. But sometimes I get a bit waylaid and I might have a response from the next day or a couple of days later. Sometimes YouTube doesn't even show me the comments until randomly, like, a few days later. It'll show I've responded to all the comments. Oh, sorry guys, bit rude. Yeah, shattered. But yeah, I'll respond to all the comments some days, and it'll say you've responded to them all, and then I'll click on the video and it'll be like 4 more comments that were from the last week that were just never shown to me. I don't know why, I don't know how it works. Again, I'm new to this. Even things like this, like my phone dying halfway through yesterday, it bloody run out of storage, and like, we will iron out these kinks, and I might not be the most flowing of geezers when I'm talking. Do you know what I mean? I know there's a few pauses and I mess a few things up, but do you know what? It's the real me, and you'll see that this is going to get better over time, but I'm only going to get better if I do it. And at the end of the day, it's conversations, isn't it? Like, we're having conversations, and that's what it's all about. So if you've got anything you want to have a conversation about specifically, let me know, right in the comments below, and we'll go from there. You know what I mean? I only need to hear from you guys what it is you want to talk about, and we will talk about it. Like I said, we will do a Q&A, so if you've got any specific questions and I don't answer them, it's probably because they're going to go in the Q&A. But yeah, it's blown me away, guys. I appreciate every single one of you. As I always say in every single video, you are fucking legends. Like, it's mind-blowing to me that we're where we're at already, and I can't wait to see where we're going to take this. As I say, this is us thing. We're creating this together, this community, this whole thing. It's all of us here that are doing this. So I appreciate it. I really do. And when I see people writing comments saying that, you know, they're making a daily habit of like sitting and vaping along to the videos, like, that motivates me, man, to come out here and make sure the second I finish work, the first thing I'm gonna do is go and film another video, because I already know what I want to speak about, and I've got the ideas, and I just need to make the time and make it happen. And if you guys are sitting there making the time to watch, to write comments, to like, to subscribe, all the stuff that you're doing, the least I can do is continue giving content and having these conversations, because ultimately that's all we want to do, is smash this stigmatism out, get the fact that, you know, cannabis is out here, it's legal, it's accessible for all now, or for a lot anyway, you know what I mean? And it's way more accessible than you would have thought. And yeah, I just think the more people having these conversations, the better. So as I said before, I appreciate every single one of you. You're absolute legends, and thank you for watching to the end if you have done. I'll drop it there. Peace.